1:9, and when I was starting to look at this, I had to think in terms of like what's going on in Joshua. And what you get in Joshua is the children of Israel have spent 40 years in the desert, and they are now at this transition moment. They're at the border of the promised land, something they have looked forward to for decades. For many of them, it's the one thing they look forward to for their entire lives. But things were different than they used to be. They had been led by Moses since forever, and now Moses was gone. This new guy, Joshua, is in charge, and the Israelites had to wonder, what all is going to change now? The people who were in charge of us before are no longer in charge of us. They were coming out of the desert, entering this new land that was full of other kingdoms and other people that they already had opinions about, because this was the second attempt for the children of Israel to enter the promised land. It was a second attempt because the first attempt, they had approached it, they sent out spies, they saw what everyone looked like and said, no, we can't fight them, we can't beat them, we can't do this. So they gave up on the land that was promised to them. They retreated back into the desert. When you have big transitions, when you have big changes, there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of potential success. But there's a lot of uncertainty, and the stakes are really high. And so this transition from one stage of life into another comes with one of the most terrifying things imaginable, and that is freedom. Freedom is one of the scariest things you're ever going to have. And that might sound strange, it might sound like it doesn't make sense, because probably, usually around middle school is when it happens, you have started to talk about school as if it is the most freedomless place in existence. Somewhere in middle school, there's always someone who's like, you know what I've noticed? School and prison, they're kind of the same. We can't wear what we want to wear, though your class has certainly put that to the test. We have to be at certain places at certain times, which your class has also put to the test. And I just can't wait to be out of here, to live my life, to be free, to be in charge of my own self. And so you've looked forward to this day, to this moment, your graduation, and some of you have started to realize, oh no, I'm going to be on my own soon. And that freedom you have been craving is now very scary. I have to do my own laundry. My parents won't pack my lunch for me anymore. Where am I going to get money? A job? What? It's very scary being a free, independent person. But throughout all of this, as you've been working your way through high school, you have heard over and over again people telling you you're going to have to get your life together. You got to get it figured out. You're going to be on your own one day, and we're trying to train you up so you can leave here as an independent, free person that we don't have to worry about. And the Israelites, when they are approaching this moment, they're on the border, and God gives them this message in Joshua chapter 1. Do what I have commanded. Be strong and courageous, because I'm with you. We need that courage. We need that strength. Freedom is scary because with true, actual freedom, you start to lose the power of excuses. If it's just up to you and something goes wrong, you can't blame another person. And that's scary. You are responsible now, whether you like it or not. You will be held accountable now, whether you like it or not. With freedom comes the possibility of some of your biggest mistakes. Because you're going to try something new. You're going to try what you thought was always going to work. But life doesn't always just give you what you thought was always going to work. Like I said, for the Israelites, this is attempt number 2 trying to get to the promised land. They've tried this before. They ran away from it. They were so scared. And they had the right to do it, because what we learn in the Bible is that your freedom to choose is a fundamental part of what makes us human. If we go back to Genesis, that's the whole story of the fall. Genesis shows us what happens when you are offered the choice, when you are free to make your own decisions. And something about human beings, we always think we can handle whatever our decisions are going to be. Eve may have been deceived, but at the same time, both she and Adam probably in their head thought, but it'll be fine. It'll work. We always think we're going to be okay. We want to be free, but what happens in the world around us is everyone else is free too, and that's scary. If I could just do what I wanted to do and keep everyone else under control, that's what we want. The world does not work that way. Fear enters the picture because we have the freedom and we make a mistake. And we want to cover that mistake up. In Genesis, God approaches Adam and Eve and says, what's going on? And the first thing that happens when you're responsible and you're accountable, you look to send blame somewhere else. Did you eat the fruit? I mean, she gave it to me. Talk to her. Wasn't me. But if you really want to be free, you don't have that excuse. You can't point fingers. With freedom comes failure. With freedom comes pain. With freedom comes blame. And with freedom comes shame. These are my inspirational words for you today. We're terrified to be free. That's the reality. And fear is a tremendous, devastating force throughout this world. I want to read to you a quote from Dietrich Bonhoeffer. That's not super lengthy. It looks long because nothing else here is written down. But Dietrich Bonhoeffer says, fear